Welcome into the Jordy Culotta Show. Wave your hand out there, baby!
Shout out to the show.
She puts the pinky into the nostril. Man, look at that.
Healthy competition, there's nothing like it.
Y'all grow up. The line's wrapped around the stadium. Different strengths. Mm-hmm. I just lost a tooth.
It's going to be fun.
You know, we might have a story.
I love what you're doing.
Ogeron wants to take us fishing this afternoon.
Sharif, you play for the bad boys of the SEC, man. We don't apologize to anybody.
A lot of people are saying you're going to be wearing number 7.
I don't really know. I want to. He look crazy, Bill.
Good feet on the old man.
Definitely come back.
We'll be right back with the Jordy Culotta Show. Welcome into a Friday edition, Good Friday edition of the Jordy Culotta Show, as always, built by our friends over at RMB Builders. Remember, over at RMB, they can get you into a brand new home, a custom design home, and they can do some reconstruction for you, both residentially and commercially. Get in touch with Rhett and the crew today on Instagram, RMB-Builders. We're also brought to you by Metropolitan Health Group, Real Doctors, Real Solutions. Going to be a quick show today. We'll probably be out of here within the next 45 minutes, but we will talk to Jordan Wright, who made up his mind earlier this week or late last week to transfer back home. He's heading out of Nashville and Vanderbilt and coming back to Baton Rouge, where he graduated from the Dunham School. He's an 1,000-point scorer over at Vanderbilt, and during his time, he averaged 9.5 points a game while playing and starting in 73 games. 42% from the field, a 6'6" guard who was a 2-time state champ with Dunham, with the Dunham Tigers during his prep days. So looking forward to catching up with Jordan here in a couple of minutes. It was a rough one last night for LSU baseball as the Tigers fell. Paul Skeens charged with his first loss of the season, but really and truly it was a perfect storm for South Carolina, no pun intended, as Skeens was really starting to settle in there before the hour-long weather delay. After that, South Carolina just mashed LSU 13-5 in Game 1 last night of the series, and South Carolina with a very impressive freshman, Ethan Petrie, who took Paul Skeens deep early in that game, kind of golfed one out of there that really kind of set the tone for the night. Petrie finished 2 for 3 with that 2-run bomb that he hit early on off of Skeens, and then he hit a grand slam later in the game. He is a good-looking freshman for South Carolina as South Carolina takes the first game 13-5. And LSU offensively just couldn't get it going, man. They just couldn't get it moving. Skeens, as we said, he was charged for the loss after his 3 innings of work, and he gave up those 2 home runs, but he did strike out 8. No walks. Those 2 hits and home runs were the only 2 hits that Skeens gave up, and it looked like he was really starting to settle in. Yeah. I mean, he was really starting to get comfortable, and, you know, I mean, it's kind of a what could have been, but the weather came through, and, you know, they anticipate more weather coming through Columbia, South Carolina over the next couple of days, so they have bumped this series up to a Friday doubleheader. In fact, Game 2 will start this morning at 11 a.m., and that will complete the 3-game series with the following game to pick up after that one goes final today. So LSU will try to finish this thing early on, but Game 1 did not go their way, man. Jordan Thompson really offensively was all LSU could produce, as he was 2 for 4 last night at the plate. He had a RBI single. He had a second inning when he knocked in that run. Then he had a 2-run home run later in the 7th inning, which is what was his 3rd home run of the year. Cade Beloso was the other 2-run scoring as he hit a home run to knock in 2 there in the 8th inning. That's how LSU got to 5, where they fell yesterday. Just one of those nights, man. One of those days where it never felt like it was going to get on track for LSU. For as close as Skeens got to settling in and trying to go the distance on that thing, the Lightning began right at the perfect time to bump him and sit him down and not bring him back after the delay. So, it was a totally different game for LSU once he was out. Once he was gone, it was just it was a different contest. And like we said, Game 2 will be coming up today at 11 a.m.
They just looked off balance last night.
Yep.
Like it was just something about South Carolina's pitchers. Like they weren't like throwing overpowering stuff because obviously they've seen Paul Skeens all fall, but like it just seemed like they were almost guessing sometimes, and it was just never
Even
really
like Cruz
never looked comfortable.
Yeah,
and that place was rocking.
Well, that early home run set the tone.
Yeah.
You could tell that place, it kind of felt like LSU last Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
If you were watching on television, you could tell this was the series, this was the game, this
that they
was the
circled.
one that they really were looking forward to. And, that was a heck of an atmosphere. It was – South Carolina's got big respect in baseball, man.
Yeah.
2-time national champ. Didn't
they go back-to-back?
They've created some noise, man. Yeah, they've done and navigated that well. So – Game 2 today, 11 a.m. We'll see. Ty Floyd will be on the mound for LSU as hopefully the weather will allow the Tigers to get this in. Also, LSU women's team has accepted an invitation to the White House. LSU accepted that from the president to visit the White House. Michael Bonnet, who's the sports information director, put out some news on that on Thursday, suggesting that LSU was going to be there. So just another accolade for LSU. They also picked up the point guard out of LCA, that is Lafayette Christian Academy, the number 1 player in the state of Louisiana, according to the 2023 cycle, or excuse me, the 2024 cycle, is Jada Richard, who is out of Lafayette Christian. She committed to LSU less than a week after her team, less than a week after LSU won their first national championship. Richard has now won 3 straight state championships in the Division II round. She scored 32 points and 6 boards, had 5 assists, 5 steals, and was named the most outstanding player of the latest tournament. So this is back-to-back cycles where you grab Michaela Williams, the state's top player, and she happens to be a nationally ranked player, and now you get Richard, who's the number 1 player in the state as well. So things continuing to stay dominant and going well for the LSU women as Kim Mulkey and the crew continue to establish more of a dominance on women's college basketball. So we will talk to Jordan Wright here in a couple of minutes. In fact, right when we come back, we'll talk to Jordan Wright and get some thoughts on why the decision. LSU did have some news from a basketball standpoint. Talented true freshman 7-footer Sean Phillips has announced that he is entering the transfer portal. This is a hit, man, for LSU. When you look at their roster, Phillips was one of those guys that late in the season really kind of started to come on, and you thought really for the outlook of next year, he was somebody that you really had to secure, you had to keep. I think the other one was kind of Jalen Reed and Tyrell Ward were the others that you wanted to make sure and not lose. Sean Phillips being the third of that one. He enters his name into the portal. Over 1,100 players in the portal right now. It's crazy.
Jeez.
A lot of people going to be left behind.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people going to find out that thinking the grass is greener on the other side. You're going to be standing there for about 2 minutes, and that grass is going to get brown underneath your feet. I mean, it's going to die right underneath you. I mean, this is a lot of cautionary tales in the early days here of the transfer portal. You know what I mean? Just because you enter the portal does not mean and guarantee that you have a spot secured. Sure, there is a section of the portal where, you know, it doesn't matter when you go in, what your interests are, you'll find a team. But there's some people out there that, you know, they may be in a okay situation. They want to try and improve that situation, and there's not a situation that exists for that. So we'll see, man. It's crazy to see the numbers of what is jumping into the portal. But you know, teams like LSU, you know, teams that are looking to rebuild a roster, you know, this is great for teams and programs like that. Jordan Wright was a huge pickup for Matt McMahon and LSU basketball. We'll ask him how he got to that decision next here on the Jordy Culotta Show. Remember, daily, we're brought to you by our friends over at City Cafe, citycafebr.net. Citycafebr.net is where you can find them online. City Cafe has daily lunch specials and Sunday brunch specials if you want to find them today. Located on the corner of O'Neill and George O'Neill. Get in touch with City Cafe today. citycafebr.net, citycafebr.net. We'll be right back with Jordan Wright, newest LSU basketball players. He transfers in from Vanderbilt, the Baton Rouge native coming home. We'll ask him why next here on the Jordy Culotta Show, built by RMB Builders. Donaldsonville Glass and Body, the trusted name in frame, body, and automotive paint repair since 1977. They have served their customers for over 45 years. You can find them online at dgbauto.com or stop in and see them Railroad Avenue and Division Street out in Donaldsonville, Louisiana. Look, they can help you with your insurance claims. They can make the repair process as stress-free as possible. I'm speaking from experience here. I've got numerous windshields, body repair, all done by Kenny and the crew over at Donaldsonville Glass and Body. They are, without question, the most well-equipped shop in the area. Stop in and see them today. Shop them online, dgbauto.com, or stop in and see the crew over in Division Street in Donaldsonville, Louisiana. Donaldsonville Glass and Body. Hey fellas, it's Jordy Culotta for my friends over at Men's Total Health. Guys, do you suffer from fatigue, decreased libido, erectile dysfunction, weight gain or loss of muscle mass, signs of depression, anxiety, hair loss, mental fog, general loss of interest? Then you might be suffering from low testosterone. Go see my friend Mike Roach and his great team over at Men's Total Health, over in Metairie at menstotalhealth.net online. And stop in and see how they can change your life today. A simple shot and some knowledge from Mike Roach can get you back up, moving with your energy, get your sex drive back, build your muscle mass, make you feel young again. All online, menstotalhealth.net. Red Stick Sports, a local staple in Baton Rouge to all sports fans, was founded back in 1981 and has remained a family business for over 40 years. Today, they still have the great selection on the floor, but they're also a leader in custom apparel for businesses, sports teams, and other groups. Take it from us, everybody over here at FM Digital Media. They help us out with all of our apparel. Let them help you out today. Go ask for Cody over at Red Stick Sports. Check him out online at redsticksports.biz.
The Jordy Culotta Show is brought to you by A-Bears Lawn Maintenance. Commercial or residential, A-Bears Lawn Maintenance is ready to work. A-Bears can tackle all your homeowners association requirements. Call Blake at 225-485-8022. A-Bears Lawn Maintenance.
Get Gordon and get it done. Get Gordon and get it done. Corrects done. Personal injury done. Workers' comp done. Truck wrecks done. Get Gordon and get it done. Get Gordon and get it done.
All right, on a rain-drenched Good Friday here. Be safe out there if you're on the road celebrating Easter this weekend. Family and friends, if you're traveling, everybody, make sure and stay safe out there as it is a pretty wet Friday here on this week as we closed it out. Billy really was looking forward to our conversation. Jordan Wright, who transferred in from Vanderbilt back to LSU, Baton Rouge native. Watched Jordan play in high school, and he is a hooper, man. Two-time state champ with Coach Pixley and the Dunham Tigers. It was I thought at the time, a miss for LSU. It made sense to go to Vanderbilt at that time as Jordan Wright for him was made that choice. But it's great to see him back now here in the purple and gold back home down south. We were originally going to do this in studio, and I had to bump it around because Jordan Culotta, my son, had a basketball game that was bumped up to 8 o'clock this morning over at Red Storm Gym, where if you go in there during the week in the summer and sometimes during the holidays, you will see Jordan Wright working out with Coach Jonathan Pixley throughout the last couple of years. So it's good that you'll be hanging around and back in Baton Rouge, man. Congratulations. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. Glad to be back in Louisiana.
I bet, man. I bet. What was it like getting to this choice?
A lot went into a lot of thought. First and foremost, I wanted to get my degree from Vanderbilt. And then if I had the opportunity to come back home and play for the Tigers, then I would do so. And that opportunity presented itself. And here I am.
What was the last 3 years like for you?
It's been a blast. I mean, had a lot of ups and downs, but the way the program is trending, it's been really fun to help rebuild that and bring some liveliness back to Memorial Gymnasium and to the Nashville community.
What was it like playing for Jerry Stackhouse? What did you learn from him?
For sure, I learned a lot. He's probably the smartest basketball mind I've ever been around. The things that he draws up, the sets that he runs, just his schemes, and the time that he puts into his craft and developing himself as a coach is really impressive. He's definitely made me a better basketball player, just understanding the game at a different level than I did prior to college. And I think I became a lot better basketball player just from understanding different things, understanding different schemes and sets offensively and defensively as well.
Your body has changed a lot since you have graduated from the Dunham School, obviously, in the last 3 years. How else has your game changed? What will the locals see in your game as you return home?
For sure. I think my shooting has definitely improved since high school. I didn't shoot it as well over the course of the season this year, but SEC play, I shot 40%. That was my first time ever doing that. So, just my versatility as well, just being able to do a lot of different things on the court, whether that's rebounding, defense, bringing the ball up, pushing in transition, guarding 1 through 4, playing 1 through 4 on offense, just a lot of different things I can add to the game and make the game easier for others.
What were your thoughts on playing in the league? What were your thoughts of the SEC?
It's always tough. It's a challenge every night. You're going to play against somebody who's probably going to be a pro at some point. Teams are very good, well-rounded teams. But winning is the most fun thing in the league for sure, just being able to go out there and compete with your teammates and get wins at the end of the day. What was
it like? What was LSU like during the recruiting process when you got into the portal? Was it all LSU, or did they really kind of extend themselves through their work in recruiting you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, LSU took an early lead. Coach McMahon was my first call. He came out to see me in Nashville the next day. So I got in the portal on a Monday, talked to him as soon as I got in the portal. And then he came out to Nashville to see me. And then he flew directly from Nashville to see my parents back in New Orleans right after that. So, I mean, he put in the work early. I was interested in other schools just to see what was out there. But ultimately, LSU had a pretty sizable lead on everybody else.
What were your impressions of Coach McMahon?
Sir, I can hear you say it again, please.
What were your impressions of Matt McMahon?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, very, very humble guy, very laid back and understanding. We kind of had a really good connection right off the bat. He had a really good plan for me. He came with a video that I really liked. He showed me, his sets and what he likes to run and how I could be incorporated in that. We watched the video together, and he kind of asked me my thoughts, what I saw, And I said, I really, I don't really have any issues. He has some sets from Vanderbilt that some of my go-to sets and ways that he can implement into his offense. And just talking to him, he's really cool, really laid back. He wants the best for his players. You can see the success that his players have had at Murray State and even this year with KJ Williams and at LSU. So, I think Coach McMahon, he really has his players' best interest in mind, and he really wants to win, which is ultimately what I want to do as well.
Your high school experience in Baton Rouge was pretty cool, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 2-time state champ. You were best player in the city. Your junior and senior year, you were recognized all-state. You were recognized all-metro, all-district, everything. Your time under Coach Pixley was an awesome experience, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I wouldn't be here in this position I am without Coach Pixley. He definitely has played a big part in molding me into the player today. And I heard you talking about when in the summertime going to Red Storm and working out during the holidays, things like that. So every chance I get, I'm always back with Coach Pixley, and he just has a wealth of knowledge as well. He always has, some really good insights every time I have a game or something. I always call him, get his thoughts, see what he thinks. He watches all of my games. So his support to me has been incredible, and he's definitely molded me into the player that I am today.
No, I know he's got to be fired up for you coming home so he can make as many games and watch you in person. Now, if you've ever I know that Red Storm is a pretty popular basketball community here locally, but if you've ever had a chance to walk in there in the summer and see Coach Pix going through some of these workouts, I mean, Jordan has been a part of many that I have brought my son in there to get some work on and just watched these workouts. I mean, these are NBA style workouts, the type of work that they're putting in, that Coach Pixley is running. They're organized, the communication of it. I mean, it's as impressive as an individual workout session as you will find, and it's happening right here in Baton Rouge. Who was a better athlete in high school, you or Derek Stingley?
You have to get that to Derek pretty easily. Pretty easily, Derek.
Any one-on-ones in basketball though? You had to be able to take him on the floor, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
for sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
we definitely did one-on-ones on both sides. I like to say I beat him in one-on-one in football. He would never admit that, but we definitely play a lot of one-on-one both ways, basketball and football.
He's got to be a pretty good hooper though, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure he is. For
No
sure
doubt,
he is.
no doubt. I'd imagine that he could probably do anything that he
Yes,
put his
he
mind
could.
to. It's cool to have you home, man. I know a lot of people were hoping that you would end up at LSU when you were coming out, but now that you have a Vanderbilt degree in your back pocket and coming and wearing the purple and gold, it'll be cool to kind of restore the pride here. What do you see when you come into the LSU basketball program?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I see a storied program. I mean, going back to 2006 with Coach Stadden Mitchell, who's on the staff now, and the run that they had to the Final Four. I think about those memories and the Louisiana guys that they had, and we're trying to do the same thing this year, trying to get some Louisiana guys back into the program and go on that same type of run, have that same type of success that they had. LSU has always been good. Even when I was a freshman, sophomore, junior in college, they were really good at the top of our league. So trying to get back to those days where LSU's in the Sweet 16 and playing playing meaningful basketball games at the end of the season and in March.
You be wearing number 4?
That's the plan. I mean, I haven't talked to the staff about it, but hopefully so.
Did you keep up with the women's run national championship?
Yeah, for sure. It's been amazing to watch what Coach Mulkey's done in year 2, and then the girls, how they came together. Yeah. Even when they got down in the Virginia Tech game, Virginia Tech won like 11-0 run. In the second quarter, they came out and fought in the Final Four to regain the lead and then ultimately win the national championship. So it was really fun to see that and see what they've done for the community over the past week or so.
Welcome home, bro. Ready to watch
Thank
you
you.
play, man. It's cool
Yes,
to have
sir.
you back in Baton Rouge, man. Congratulations to you on graduating early and having an opportunity to make this choice to come play more hoops. So looking forward to watching you play. Thank you again.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
You got it. There's Jordan Wright checking in from, I believe he's on his way to Baton Rouge now. Here as he jumped into the transfer portal last week. Matt McMahon, first call. A day later, he's in Nashville with a video in hand to show Jordan on how they're going to use him here in Baton Rouge. Wright makes the decision, and that's a huge pickup for LSU. That conversation in our show brought to you by Premier South Roofing and Sheet Metal, which is Louisiana's premier roofing experts. Remember, weather coming through today, man. Some expected, maybe possible hail coming through. Get ready to call on your roof if you feel like you have any damage, if you need any maintenance, if you need any repair. Get out in front of this. Premier South Roofing and Sheet Metal is ready for your calls, and they're standing by. The call center is ready for you at premiersouthlA.com, premiersouthlA.com, and that is in Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, and North Shore, and they can handle all of what you need. Remember, they can handle commercial roofing, residential roofing, metal roofing installation, roof repair, roof maintenance. Online Premier South Roofing, premiersouthlA.com. PremiersouthlA.com is the website. Get in touch with them today over at Premier South Roofing and Sheet Metal. And look, we always remind you, if your roof is 8 years or older, odds are you qualify for a new roof. You definitely qualify for a free inspection. So get in touch with the pros over at Premier South LA. PremiersouthlA.com is how you can get in touch with them. They'll send a pro out and jump up on the roof and let you know. Odds are, if it's 8 years or older, you've probably got damage where you can get yourself a new roof. Get Premier South Roofing and Sheet Metal out to see you today. They're coming to Alabama soon, to the Daphne Fairhope area as they're getting established over there. But right now, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, North Shore, all along the Gulf South, anywhere. PremierSouthLA.com. PremierSouthLA.com. We'll be right back. I'll close it out. Good talking to you on this Good Friday. Thanks to Jordan Wright for stopping by. Stewie made it in this morning, so good stuff. We'll be right back and close it out here on the Jordy Culotta Show, built by R&B Builders.
Hey Baton Rouge, when traveling through Natchez, Mississippi, whether you need to fill up your vehicle or your belly, stop by Go-Mart and On The Go Deli. Go-Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you might need on your trip. So stop by Go-Mart at 4 Sergeant Prentice Drive as you're entering Natchez on the left, and visit Tom and Wright Granning and their awesome team at Go-Mart.
Are you looking for sound financial advice? Then get in touch with Daniel Newman of Edward Jones. You can call him today at 225-261-8262 or email him daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. If you're planning for retirement, saving for college for children or grandchildren, or just looking for sound investment opportunities, get in touch with Daniel today, 225-261-8262, located on Magnolia Square Drive in Central. Daniel Newman of Edward Jones.
Don't let the name fool you. Men's Total Health has offerings for the ladies, too. Guys, is your wife or partner suffering from urinary incontinence, low sexual desire, or pain during sex? Then the O-Shot might be for her. Don't let it scare you. It's totally natural. It's PRP. And Mike Roach and the crew at Men's Total Health will make you as comfortable as you can be. Contact me for more information, Katie at JordyCulottaShow.com, and I'm happy to tell you everything that Men's Total Health has to offer for the ladies.
Fourier Insurance Agency, established in 1946, locally can help you with any of your home, auto, commercial, contractors, life and health insurance today. Give them a call, 225-383-0682, or log online to FourierAgency.com.
Hey, she's on her way up.
Hey, G, I got you something.
Hey, Coach. What do you think? Is this too much?
If you look good, you play good.
All right, then. Let's get it done.
All right, good stuff there from Jordan Wright. Thank you to him for coming by here on this Good Friday. We're about to have to get out of here and get over to the basketball gym as we got a couple of games this morning. Little J does at 8 and 10 a.m. We'll be over at the Red Storm Gym on the corner of Kenilworth and Perkins as they have a little holiday tournament going on right now. Remember, LSU baseball games moved around. They have games that are now moved up. They will have a doubleheader today. First pitch is scheduled for 11 a.m. in Game 2 today, and Game 3 is scheduled for 4 o'clock. So they're looking to wrap that South Carolina series up today for LSU, and the Gamecocks did not start off the way that LSU would have liked to with a 13-5 loss last night, and Paul Skeens credited with his first L of the season. LSU was beat up pretty early and never able to recover after the weather delay because Skeens did not come back in the game. He did have 8 strikeouts. Skeens did. I mean, it wasn't as if he was getting knocked around. He really is starting to settle in.
He had 2 hits.
2 hits, 2 home runs. I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah, LSU's about to be
you throw it 100 miles an hour. Sometimes you throw a toothpick into the strike zone, it's going to knock it 300 feet.
Especially when the umpire's making you throw it over the plate.
The thing is a cracker box.
Yeah.
I mean, it's little bitty, man.
Fire Jay Johnson.
Start the website.
Jeez. The melt on Twitter last night was, oh my goodness. Mic'd up mentions were on fire. LSU's not the number 1 team anymore.
Been telling y'all about Skeens. Can't pitch through lightning. I knew it. All right, man. What do you want to do?
You want the man to get struck by lightning?
I mean,
He's 6'7".
What do you want? I will tell you that they did put out the numbers of the college football recruiting spendings of 2022, and surprisingly, LSU not in the. Is this the top 25?
It seems like a top 25 list to me.
Is not in the top 25. LSU consistently, the previous 5 years before Brian Kelly showed up, would spend annually about $990,000 on recruiting. This year, Georgia spent $4.5 million on recruiting. The top school in the SEC, obviously Georgia. After that, Texas A&M spent $2.98 million. Tennessee spent $2.92 million, while Texas spent $2.4, Alabama $2.3 million, Florida spent $1.6 million, Auburn $1.3 million, Ole Miss $1.2 million, while teams like Ohio State, Clemson, Oklahoma, Oregon, Penn State, Washington are peppered within the top 25 as well. Georgia Tech spent $1.2 million last year.
Rutgers
on recruiting. Here's my question. Georgia's spending $4.5 million, and obviously it pays off. They're the national champs back to back. So I'm not here to, break down line by line how Georgia's spending their cash and how they're getting their return on investment. Obviously what they're doing is working. But the $4.5 million, where's that being spent? Like when they show up or to get them there? Where's the bulk of that? I mean, that's got to be a lot of entertainment cash, right? I mean, I heard some of the things that they were doing for Arch in Austin on that $250,000 weekend on his official. I mean, I can only imagine. Jeez. Didn't he call Athens the best college town he had been to?
He did.
Ain't happening for free. You know what I mean? Like,
$4 million in the bank.
I mean, like $500,000 in a weekend in Athens could go a long, long way.
I
mean? I could make any town in the world the coolest place I've ever been to with $500,000 to spend it in 48 hours.
Here's this bag.
I can make Lutcher look great in 48 hours with $500,000 to blow.
Yes.
I mean,
I can make Franklin look great, Coach.
Right this way.
I want to buy this whole building, actually.
And a fence around it to not allow anybody else in.
Her.
Except them. But, yeah, Brian Kelly. So they were spending annually, on average, about $980,000 the previous 5 years in recruiting, which still, was comparatively speaking, Not as much as the competitors were. This year under Kelly, they spent around $750,000. So less $200K than the previous 5 years, and they had a great class.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I'm asking. I mean, Georgia, look, Georgia's getting number one classes. They're pumping out pros. If it costs $4.5 million to get them there and to close them, I get it. I mean, you're getting a good return on investment, but $4.5 million? I mean, I kind of consider Georgia to be like Louisiana. I mean, Georgia, if there is a state that has more per capita talent from a high school football standpoint than Louisiana, Georgia's it. Mm-hmm. I mean, that place is loaded, dripping with talent. So, I mean, do you have to spend all this money?
You got to butter them up that much?
I mean, they're right here. And the same thing like that. I'm sure LSU's thinking we don't have to spend that much money. I mean, they're all sitting in New Orleans. You just bring them in. I mean, maybe need $1,000 for the weekend. We'll make it happen. But I mean, it's.
I mean, $10,000 for the weekend. I mean, Jesus.
I mean, they're spending. The tales of the Manning official visit to Austin, Texas, are legendary. I mean, in an NIL world where you can, accept boosters cash, and from the stories out there, it was a $250,000 weekend. Austin's a great spot.
Arch, take this check.
I mean, if I got $250,000 to blow in 2 days in Austin.
I mean, at 18. Oh, my goodness.
I mean,
I want to buy a car.
I'm going to Travis County lockup. I know that. I mean, I see either the morgue or prison in my future.
Yeah.
Within the next 48 hours.
I'm definitely going to do something that's jail time.
Jail time or could kill me. Probably both.
Either way.
I mean, if I get caught here, I'm either going to die or go to jail. With you. So, welcome to it, honey.
Hey, you wanted to come along.
Yeah, right. This is life in the fast lane. So, recruiting budgets are crazy, man.
I mean, but Rutgers being on this list is kind of like the outlier because, I mean, everybody else on this list is kind of decent at football. Well, Arizona was bad last year. Georgia Tech was relatively bad, but everybody else on here is a pretty decent team.
Yeah.
It's what's Rutgers spending $1.6 million on recruiting for?
Golly, the fall for Arizona State, bro. You spent $180,000 on recruiting.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, Arizona State's a great place to be, though.
It is. It is.
The recruiting pitch should
but,
be easy.
I mean, Herm and them spending millions.
Herm didn't know what he was
cheating
doing.
his ass off, bro. That's illegal, Herm. I don't care.
Hey, look.
I mean,
he did this in the league.
When the NCAA shows up, they show up. I mean,
our mascot
until
is a
then,
Sun Devil.
Pay them. All right, everybody have a great day. Have a great Easter. Mic'd Up's rolling 1-3, so they'll get you ready for game 2, or they'll actually be in the middle of the action. It's 11 a.m. this morning, LSU and South Carolina game 2. Have a safe Good Friday. It is nasty outside, man, and it looks like it ain't going anywhere. So be safe out there on the roads, and have a safe Easter with friends and family. Good weekend here. Hopefully everybody enjoys it, and we'll be back with you on Monday morning at 7 a.m. Hopefully talking about another series take for LSU as the Tigers down one game here with 2 left to play with South Carolina. Game 2 this morning at 11 a.m. And then game 3 scheduled for 4 p.m. Shout out to Jordan Wright. Appreciate him for stopping by. Stewie, good job this morning coming in. Have a great Easter. Have a great T-ball weekend with the little man. And we will be back with you on Monday morning.
Hopefully we can get some games in tomorrow.
Yeah, Coach.
Seaman.
Build us a dome down there in Franklin.
Yeah. That's what my grandma always said.
All right, we'll be back with you Monday morning, 7 a.m.